Whitecaps run away with that one with a 5-0 victory over Real España, the largest win, or by margin, in Concacaf Champions League history for the Vancouver Whitecaps. Wheeler, Wilson, KJ with you. That was a question at halftime, is whether they could be put some goals past this goalkeeper and really settle the tie here in the first leg. I think the answer is a resounding yes.
They were really efficient in the second half, very direct. I think, as we talked about, we stood there at halftime pretty much thinking what they were going to say at halftime, and it was, look, the game was there for the taking, the tie was there for the taking. Finish it now, leave nothing to be doubt. Don't go down to San Pedro Sula and give them a chance. We could see just how remarkably open the game was, Jordan. At that point, you're thinking the chances are going to come if they can be efficient and take it. Nice to see the goal spread around a little bit as well, and they were good. I thought they were very good.
Yeah, the past two matches for the Whitecaps in the MLS, after they go up 1-0, they kind of just sat back and just were a bit tentative. It's nice to see them put pressure, nice to see them go after and chase the second goal. And I guess third time's the lucky charm for them, and they got the 3 points.
The thing was that it was 5, but it could have been more.
Yeah.
Could have been much more than just 5-0 tonight. Let's look at the goals once again that were scored in the second half tonight. And Tristan Blackman made it 1-0 in the first half. And the lone Canadian in the Vancouver Whitecaps starting 11, Ryan Raposo, scores in the 59th, Jordan.
Look, just a great build-up, though, right? You start from the right side, get over to the left. When you're isolated, any kid at home, cut in, go near post as well, right? Keepers thinking you're going to wrap that far post. Once you get that momentum and you skip past players and it gets to go in between center backs, you're cruising. So happy birthday to Ryan Raposo, 24 years old today, and just really hit this one well.
Yeah, what we were talking about, a couple of hours ago, about the Canadian men's national team camp and who can kind of young players being in form and kind of might be able to push their way in. Obviously, a very versatile player like that. I thought he was excellent all night. I think he deserved being talked about regardless of the goal. It's probably my favorite goal of the night, just because he discovered very early that he was able to get beyond the fullback there, and he had a lot at stake. But as you said, the ability to go one way or the other. I like Raposo a lot, and Martins was coming with it, and people thought he would play a lot, and suddenly Raposo's kind of owning that position at the moment.
New formation for Vanni Sartini, a little bit of a new position for Ryan Raposo as well. Not the biggest left back around, but certainly a player that's very good in attack. And let's hear from Raposo after his goal-scoring performance in the 5-0 victory.
Ryan, so how good does it feel to not only get the first win of the season, but the shutout tonight?
Yeah, I think both are very important. The win, obviously. But at the same time, we have to remember there's another game next week in Honduras. So I think we've given ourselves a good cushion, 5 goals, it's good. And yeah, now we work. Saturday, another game, and obviously Wednesday, another one.
How confident is the team after kind of pouring on the second half like that? Do you guys feel like you have a little swagger back?
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good for the confidence for the guys to score some goals. But as a defender, more importantly, we kept a clean sheet. That's our first time this season, so that's what I'm the most proud of tonight.
Okay, good luck down in Honduras.
All right, thank you.
Like Ryan said, the Whitecaps back in action this Saturday first against a very good FC Dallas side. That kind of opened things up. There were a couple other chances before Raposo ended up with that finish that the Whitecaps were truly knocking on that door. They just needed to blow it down. And Ryan Gauld started to ball. Some of his distribution was exceptional in the 64th minute. I mean, it was an own goal for Real España. Garcia. It goes against him. But the ball movement, KJ, was excellent.
Yeah, Gauld was fantastic the entire game. Because you give a player like this the amount of space to do this, and obviously he's got his vision. He's always got his head up. He can control the ball without looking at it. He's got his head up. He sees things way before you. You can see the fullback almost falls over there at that point. And it's just the goal all came from the vision of the pass like this. Gressel had a similar one in the first half as well, where he played a delightful ball and took a couple of defenders out. So the midfield had a great day. It wasn't the game for Kubas. It wasn't needed defensively, but he was very good too. But Gauld was tremendous. That's a great ball.
He has a sweet left foot, but I think what we can see about Gauld today with the chances that he created is that the weight of the pass is always perfect. Like that, the quality, right? To think about that pass, but yeah, to deliver and put enough weight on it for it to settle and to set up your teammates, it's perfect. So two assists, it's not bad.
Schaaf was out through injury, but Gauld playing a little bit of a deeper role. Think that's something that Sartini will consider going forward, depending on the matchup?
I think he should. I think as long as the balance is right in the midfield, right, you don't want all the same players. But what he brings is that he's a guy to play make. And sometimes when you're in the 10 and high positions, Wheels, we talk about this all the time, is that you're a guy that can get hit or tackled. You know, it's easy to get the ball from your center backs, from your right or left back, and say, hey, I'm going to dictate the play. And you can see that today. They look for him, and when it came to those fine moments in the attacking third where he could just lay off the ball and set up his teammates, it ended up being a fine end product. So it'd be nice to see him in that role throughout the season.
It's something to consider, KJ.
Yeah, consider certainly at home. You know, the home form, you know, last year was, I thought, adequate. Away form was really poor. The concern I have is he always naturally will always fall into that number 10. He wants to push forward, and in the end, it was almost a 4-2-3-1 with that attack. With that. So then when you play that way, particularly in MLS away from home, you can get pretty beat quickly on the transition game, but it causes a lot of work for the others to do, whether that be Schaff or Gressel. It looks like Gressel's more of a midfielder. He played as a fullback last year as a wing back, but I think Vanny has said it, you know, the stamina, he prefers him in midfield. You can see the pass that he did today. So it's something to think about. I think, and to be honest, I still think the ability to play him in that midfield with the likes, you know, of Kubas and Schaff and then Gressel, I think that's a very good midfield in MLS. If you can get goal drifting off, or maybe play as a diamond at one point and play him as a 10. But a lot to like about the attack today. But let's be honest, it does all go through him.
Right. Agreed on that. Let's skip ahead to the 70th minute. One of those players who were playing in one of those attacking positions underneath the number 9 was Pedro Vite. Back-to-back starts, and he opens his account, scored 2 goals last season, his first here in 2023. Another great pass by Gold.
Yeah, Gold heavily involved again. It actually came from a turnover. They'll be very disappointed, Real España, the way they did that. Dahomey with the press as well to win the ball back. I thought he was very good without the ball. I think he's got a lot fitter, Dahomey, this year. He looks a lot sharper. I know Vanny said he was very good in preseason as well. Got the whole good celebration going on.
Yeah. Love it.
But the kind of game, Jordan, I'd imagine as a player, particularly as an attacking player, you want to come off that pitch with a goal because you know there's opportunities.
For sure, and I think for Vite, when you saw his last goal there, it's just like he was making that run all game, just kind of going up and down the line, but making a run in between players, is that what gets you a reward? And then you just got to be brave and bold enough and calm enough to slot it away.
Let's round it off with the high five, and it was Brian White who scored in the 77th minute, came on for Cordova, who was good today over the course of his hour of action. And Brian White not playing against Jordan Wilson tonight, but still gets a goal, buddy.
Hey, honestly, he's such a dangerous guy to defend. And again, he has his head down. When you get that cut in, most dangerous thing for a defender, right? You have to shift your hips. So you can see here, he's slowing him down. As soon as he cuts, he has an opportunity. Hey, you can go near post like Raposo did. Keeper can't really see that. Or you can wrap your foot around that side mesh. Brian White chose the ladder on that one.
Yeah, when they scored, it made me think. Whitecaps don't score 5 very often in games. I think it ties the club record. They got 5 against San Jose in the only playoff win they've ever had 5 or 6 years ago now. But you know, I think it ties the club record. That's a tremendous achievement. Look, I know Real España, the opposition probably they weren't good enough. You know, they started really brightly, 10 minutes. We'll all say it was a remarkably open game. Yeah. We expected them to come in, sit tight, try and get that away goal, keep it tight, take it back. It was the complete opposite of that. It was wide up. You can see why they've struggled a little bit in domestic play this season if they're going to play like that. But, you know, every credit to the Whitecaps. You know, it's one thing to say the opposition weren't up for it, but you've got to take that and you've got to put them away. And I thought they were very good in a lot of areas today and a lot of things to like it. Again, the boost, the confidence that they needed. Vanny Sartini said to us yesterday that it came at the right time, this game, because they felt like they left points on the table in the last 2 matches. And he said they should have at least 4, you know, whatever you want, but they have none. And so he didn't want to wait a whole another 7 days to play that game. You want to get out there and play right away and get that confidence. And now I think some of those players who played today can play again because it was a leisurely paced game. And now they don't need to play in Honduras. So you can go out again and put your best foot forward again in a game against Dallas where you really don't want to be 0-3 in the MLS.
Right. Let's take a look at the match stats from this game. Some big numbers for the Whitecaps. 26 shots, 11 on target. They had 90% pass completion as well. So it was just a very good night all round for the Vancouver Whitecaps. We do want to give a shout out to Karifa Yao. And the question will be, will he feature next week on the return leg in San Pedro Sula? That game, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific next Wednesday. We hope you join us for that. It was Karifa Yao, formerly of of Cavalry FC. His Vancouver Whitecaps debut, great to see him on the field, and perhaps the fact that you ran away with this one tonight allows him to maybe come into a starting role next week.
Book it in. No?
Yeah,
Book
it's
it
happening.
in.
It's
Yeah,
happening.
it has to play, no? What do you think?
You got to. I feel like you, with 5 games in 15 days for the Whitecaps, you gotta blend the squad a little bit. And Krifa Yao getting a start, playing next week, you know it's gonna happen.
The other thing, too, quickly, I would say is that a lot of players during my time covering them have said that when they come through the exhilaration of preseason, where they all get to play, the hardest thing is then when you don't play.
Yeah.
You know, they want to get playing again, right? So
There's competitions right now for them to play. He's going to get the opportunity. I hope he really relishes it next week.
I hope so.
So the ticket isn't punched to the quarterfinal round of the Concacaf Champions League, but 1 foot through the door. The teams that they could face in the next round, Alajuelense of Costa Rica and LAFC, go tomorrow night in the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League, and you can watch right here on One Soccer. Good night all round for the Vancouver Whitecaps and Benny Sartini.
Great night.
He wanted some goals. Gold! I love gold! The star performance. Some important minutes, and a Canadian finds the back of the net as well. So Vancouver Whitecaps 5, Real España 0. On behalf of Wilson and KJ, I'm Wheeler. Wheels down on tonight's broadcast. Thanks for joining us right here on your home for Canadian soccer. It's a channel we like to call One Soccer.